if you're dealing with if you've got a population where just about everybody has got severe problems, I mean, it's craniofacial, that term Michael's got, craniofacial dystrophy, is an excellent description of the problem. And if people had hands that badly deformed, they'd go to all sorts of trouble to get them right, wouldn't they? They won't even recognise that we've got a pathological process, one symptom of which is crooked teeth.
Physiological.
Not pathological.
Pathology, I think, maybe, I'm not sure. That's interesting. I'm not quite sure where the bounds of physiology and pathology were. I mean, it's growth we're talking about. Is growth pathological or physiological?
Well,
is bad growth pathological?
Well, I might say is that you can have a pathological growth pattern.
Yeah, I suppose that. I mean, it's not easy to know.
Yeah, but I mean, once the cranium has got 12 cranial nerves, and their exit route from the cranium, it has to be critical. I mean, the more distorted the cranium, then the more distortion there will be in transmission along those cranial nerves.
Even the majority of orthotropists don't realise how badly the cranium is messed up. You know this work I've done on seeing how the sphenoid bone is doing this inside the cranial vault. And nobody's picking up on that.
Well, interestingly enough, I mean, Robert Ricketts, he
showed the difference. But he used to say they have a vertical growth pattern or a horizontal growth pattern. He wasn't describing reason. But
what he did say was, he said, what he did, I hate cello, I loathe cello, I never use cello. He says, you know, I said, because it moves in treatment. Which of course it does, but he sees that as
only in young children.
And
not very much.
But that's why I use Basion Nasion. But the other thing, I mean, even if you can get the concept that Nasion, to measure the maxillary position in relation to Nasion, is absolute nonsense.
I think my FN is by far the most stable play.
20 millimetres above Nasion.
40.
40?
Yes.
Okay.
Doesn't matter,
but whatever.
The top is 20 millimetres, you'll hit the air cells.
And
the air cells in men doesn't go in and out.
I misread it. I mean, I talk about Nasion vertical. But if they don't, I mean, when I ask this question, when I talk about anatomy, when I'm in a lecture, and I say to them, how many bones are in the cranium? Nobody knows that, so you tell them. And then you say,
I can't remember.
28. If you count the 6 in the ears.
Yes.
And then you say to them, how many bones in the cranium have got teeth in them? Nobody gets that right. They don't even know how many bones in the cranium have got teeth in them.
And the palatal bone has some, doesn't it?
The palatine bones,
yeah.
So I count 5 there. Bones, they don't know that. But that's what I'm saying, once you just that concept that it's a cranial distortion, and the cranial distortion is a serious health issue, and there's 4 bones in the cranium that have got teeth in, if you're going to change cranial relationships, the easiest way of doing that is to get hold of the teeth and move them.
They fit in well, provided you don't pull too hard, or which can pull.
So that's why you don't want to snap the joint. That's why rapid palatal expansion is out.
But semi-rapid is so much better.
So much better. And the research has been done on rabbits, which is I mean, it's good. I've read your book, John. I know the rabbits.
No. I wish I knew more research on that.
And then anecdotal evidence. Well, I mean, anybody who uses semi-rapid expansion will know that that's the way to go.
And that the bone floats.
Particularly if you treat young people. So if you're talking about craniofacial dystrophy and reducing craniofacial dystrophy, and by doing that you've got to create a maxillary arch that will contain the tongue.
Absolutely.
And then if you then say, okay, then what we've got to do is we've got to get the tongue to support the change. You've got to do 2 things. You've got to get the maxilla developed to get the tongue up there, and then you've got to train the tongue to support it.
And you've got to keep the mandible up there or the tongue won't be.
Absolutely. That's the other thing I do to people. I say to everybody in the class, bite your back teeth together, bring your lips together, where's your tongue? And then I say, separate your back teeth by 2 or 3 millimetres, what's happened to your tongue? Whose tongue has dropped? And about half of them have. And then I say, now separate your lips by 2 millimetres. and what's happened to your tongue? And it's all dropped. So as soon as you've got your mouth open that much, all airways open, and you're a mouth breather and your tongue's low.
Yeah.
So the challenge is, that's why arch expansion's got such a bad name, because it's step one of a two-step process, isn't it? No good just going like that. Look, it all comes back.
Not all, but most.
Well, the majority, yeah. I've got a case 30 years out of treatment that I did that on Skip Truitt's advice, and it's still there.
Right, because the tongue went there.
The tongue went there, and he breathed through the nose.
You know, there's some interesting work done years ago by Bjork and Skeller. You may not remember the names. He actually put bone markers. Remember, he was a great man for bone markers. Measured the width in the bone of the up maxilla when they were being expanded. He was using, I think, the old-fashioned old expansion at that time, about 0.5 millimetre a week. But what he found was interesting, that the width of the vault, that's the bits of the maxilla and the palatine bone, when they were widened, they didn't relapse. The actual infill in the middle maintained them solidly. What relapsed was the alveolus, so that the teeth would often relapse sometimes even more than the original width. So it was the alveolus, and of course the teeth, would collapsing, not the maxilla. Interesting.
It is interesting that, yeah. But so the question is, to me, how do you get the tongue up into the palate? And get to say that?
Yeah.
So
what is your answer to that?
Well, I use the Maya brace.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I would use at stage 3 at the age of 6.
Okay. So, but my point is that it's not the Maya brace. I mean, the Maya brace is the means to the end.
Yes, it's the patient.
It's how you deliver it to the patient. I mean, to me, that's absolutely critical.
Yes.
If the children do the exercises, it will work.
Yes.
And if they don't do the exercise, it won't work.
Yeah, I think that's possibly where I tend to worry, because exercises, in my experience, people do very well when under supervision, but tend not to do much on their own and in the years following.
I couldn't agree more. But when I say exercise, I mean exercise of wearing the Maya brace. I call that as an exercise, because when you've got the Maya brace in your mouth, you cannot contact the lip and tongue. So particularly all night, then you've got your lip and tongue. You can't swallow without tongue to palate contact. So, but the treatment is, to me, the challenge is, that's why. And this is what I said in Chicago, and nobody's ever asked me to speak since. Because I think what I said was true, that the soft locks are great.
Yes.
But if that's all you're relying on, what do you do if they don't work?
Well, I mean, I would say there's nothing else.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you see.
Yeah, I mean, this is, Well, therefore, perhaps I'm not willing to take a compromise, but I'm saying that if you can't, the advantage of soft locks is that it makes the child do it. You aren't doing it. They have to keep their mouth shut. And I don't think there is a better way of teaching children anything.
Well, I'd agree with that, except that I do think you need to all that. I think if you that's what I was trying to say. What you need to do is combine the bio block and what we do.
Yes.
But you don't.
Well,
I've been speaking to Mike about that for 4 years, and he said, "Oh, we go upstairs." I look up here, and it's a shit box. I mean, this isn't you're not going to teach children anything in this room.
Not much. You're not.
I mean, you look at all the research done on teaching. Does school, do 7-year-old children go in a room like this to learn anything?
No, that's interesting, because you're right. That's not what I do. I don't teach or treat the habits of children other than making them keep their mouth shut, because I probably focus almost entirely on that. All right, I move the maxilla to start with, so you push the teeth into more or less the right position, but then all I do is teach them to keep their mouths shut, but teach them to close their own mouth. This is where we do separate, not differ, is I don't